And on the left-hand side is kind of what the body looks like in a normal X-ray. And this shows you the guide wire that is up through your veins all the way up into your left jugular vein. And it's hilarious. They go in through this little insertion point. I'm not going to show it. On the left. And the next thing you know, they say to you, well, Sandra, we're in your left jugular vein. And you go, oh, okay. You're fully awake for this. It's just a wonderful experience. And then he shoots some radioactive dye out of the little end of this catheter. And if you notice, the dye just bounces off something and goes back towards the heart. It's not going up. It's supposed to shoot upwards in a straight line towards the brain. A little bit of it leaks through, but most of it just clouds back and bounces right back towards the heart. There's obviously something stopping that blood from going up towards the brain, which, you know, by inference then is something is also stopping the blood getting down from the brain. So, next slide, please. He puts the balloon in and he inflates it, and if you can see in the lower right-hand slide there, the balloon would not inflate across whatever was blocking my vein there. It's like a balloon animal in my vein. You know, the vein had an obstruction in it so great that the balloon could not inflate. And so he forced it, pumped it right up, and tested the flow again. He was not happy with the flow, and he ended up having to balloon it again to get rid of that obstruction. It turned out the obstruction was actually part of my vein wall, wasn't separated from the other side, so I actually had like a membrane or a part of the vein wall that was occluding the vein opening, and so no wonder my jugular vein didn't work so well. But if you did read the MRV from False Creek, you'll notice that the obstruction noted by False Creek and Dr. Hakey was much higher than what is being ballooned here in Albany. And the doctors in Albany came to the conclusion, and this is now becoming best practice with angioplasty, that when they treat downstream problems closer to the heart in the jugular vein, often the upper problems correct. And this is indeed what happened when he ballooned me twice, and you see the fully inflated balloon there in the lower left. When he ballooned me twice, they checked my blood flow again, and my jugular vein, that blockage that was higher up, no longer existed. So it's almost like, you know, they untangled the bit of vein at the bottom, and that sort of self-corrected the vein all the way up. And it also, just as a cautionary note, it keeps them from putting that guide wire right up close to your brain, because my blockage that was shown on the first slide was very close to my brain. So he said, look, we treat the downstream, we stay in the jugular vein, we don't go up near the brain, and you stay safe. Okay, next slide, please, honey. Oh, that's my husband. And I'm married. So, and this, I wanted to show this also to Dr. Code, his points that he made in the beginning about the azygos. These are scans of the azygos vein. My jugular veins each had to be ballooned twice. Then they moved into the azygos, and they found 5 stenoses, I guess, in my azygos vein. This is one of them, and you'll see the ballooning there on the right-hand side. This is the balloon, again, trying to inflate across the stenosis. The balloon will not inflate. There's something there blocking it. So they just pump that little sausage up, and they get it nice and fully inflated, and they get rid of the blockage in the azygos. They did that 5 times in me, so I had 9 different balloons inflated. The ones in the azygos, they hurt. It's kind of down between your heart and your right breast. And it hurts. And but you know, if you've ever had a mammogram, ladies, it's not worse than that. So next slide. Men, you'll just have to wait and see. These are the results. I have improved balance, improved stamina. My husband wonders that I stand and I don't look for a chair all the time to sit down. My leg spasms, which were a constant problem for the last 3 or 4 years, have 99% disappeared. I haven't actually had a spasm in the last 4 weeks and 2 days. I've had what I call hint of spasms. It's like, oh, I might be getting a leg spasm, and I just stretch my leg, never materializes. So I would call those 99% gone, and I was on drugs for those, lots of physio, lots of acupuncture, and they've gone. And my swallowing is 100% improved. I'm gaining weight. I'm eating everything in sight. I no longer have dysphagia, and I can swallow handfuls of pills now, whereas before I had problems swallowing a single vitamin D. And the other day I started typing with 10 fingers. I was having a bad day with dropped foot. I'm going, why is my leg dropping all of a sudden? And then, oops, shut that off. And then all of a sudden, my fingers started typing. So I was talking to Valerie earlier. Sometimes when we get low and we feel like, I feel like I'm getting symptoms coming back that were disappearing, all of a sudden something else got better. And I'm now typing with 10 fingers again, and I can't tell you how exciting it is to all of a sudden see that your body's doing something that hasn't been doing for so many years. Anyway, that's it for our presentation part. We're going to leave it now for a full hour, hopefully, of questions and answers. And so what I ask you to do is there'll be people floating around with microphones. So put your hand up, and they will acknowledge you and then get to you with a microphone. Direct your question either generally to the panel, or if you can remember our names, or just yell out a country. And we will do our best to answer any and all questions. And we'll just take it from there, and thank you very much. All right, and please wait until you get the microphone before you ask. And so who's got the microphone now? Okay, go ahead, please.
Hi, Sandra.
Hi.
I wanted to know how long you had to wait to go for surgery in Albany and how much it cost.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I phoned May the 10th, and so I waited 2 months. Their lineup has considerably increased. You're looking at first quarter 2011 now at the minimum if you phone today. My total bill was $5,000. And you don't pay that. You pay $3,000 when you arrive at the clinic. That's the venogram part, which they do regardless. And then $2,000 for the angioplasty. So it was a $5,000 bill. American. And I had a question over here. Who's got the mic?
Let's do a couple here, and then we'll work our way across.
Oh, okay. Sure. Go ahead.
Hello, I'm asking on behalf of my daughter. You're the only one who mentioned relapsing remitting, and has there been any people who have that type of MS who have been significantly helped? Did you? Thank you very much. Okay.
I was still on Rebif, so I was technically by my neurologist still classed as relapsing remitting, but not anymore because I'm not taking it anymore. Next question.
Okay, this is sort of a question for all of you. And especially white shirt. Where did white shirt go? Oh, there she is. She's in a red shirt now.
Betty. That's Betty.
Okay, hi Betty. You said that we can ask for reimbursement of costs, but from who? Is it the hospital? Is it Canada is only on federal taxes? Is it BC? Who?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I think we have a shot at is getting on your income tax, claiming it as a medical expense, so you'd get some back there. But in terms of trying to get anything reimbursed through provincial health insurance, forget it.
Alrighty
at this point.
Good stuff. Thanks.
That's what the human rights claim is all about, by the way. If we didn't have an MS diagnosis and you found out that you had jugular veins blocked, you know, you may not be denied treatment, but because of the MS diagnosis.
Hi. Regarding the claim to the government, the way I read it is if you are a dependent, then you can claim it. But if you're not classified as a dependent on somebody else, then I don't think you can claim it. At least that's the way I read it.
The way I look at this is that we have a few months to figure out the tax implications, and you better believe the online community is going to be on top of this and look at those sources to try to figure out how to do this. We were actually talking about it earlier. So We don't have the answers yet. I think there's going to be enormous government pressure to allow these claims, and we just need to keep on that so that we can claim this as a medical expense, because the treatment was not available to us in Canada. Okay, next question, and please only ask questions and answer them if you have a microphone, because we are tape recording this.
Bob, there, can you hear me? What did the cost end up being when you went to Cabo San Lucas? I'm over here.
This is for Bob.
Bob, single Bob, who's desperately...
I was part of the clinical trial, and I won't lie to you, the cost was significantly reduced because of that. But the total cost for the treatment was $1,500. And of course, that had to be pre-approved on, even before you got there, you kind of wanted to make sure you had it. Because it was so last minute, the airfare was almost as much as the treatment was. But does that answer your question?
Do you know what the treatment cost would be?
Yes, right now the cost in Los Cabos is $9,750, and that I know. Excuse me. That includes, I believe, your accommodation, doesn't it?
There's an additional $800 for the MRI. In addition to that, plus you've got your accommodations, obviously, and your flight.
So there you go.
Excuse me. I was just going to say a lot of this information is available online very easily. You just go to Google and Google Cabo San Lucas and CCSVI, and you'll find all that information on there.
I've got a question for like anybody or everybody on the panel. Did anybody feel worse for a while before they felt better, or was it instant success? Thank you.
I'll field that question right now. Everyone which was on the clinical trial with me has gotten better. Everyone else which I've spoken to who have had treatment elsewhere have not had any problems in actually terribly relapsing into the past pain and discomfort. There has been a little bit in some cases, but it's not been substantial. The benefits and continuous upgrades are still there.
I would second that. I was eating pizza in bed, semi-reclined, no swallowing problems. A few hours later, although I did stay in bed the rest of the day, I think you're on a bit of an adrenaline high right after you get treated, and you do feel better just from that alone. Everyone else would agree?
Yes, I wanted to say that I was almost in a wheelchair, and now I'm walking. I couldn't talk, and now I'm walking, talking, and I feel really good. I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I go swimming, I exercise, and it is unbelievable.
Okay.
And Valerie's got something to add.
I just wanted to say for a couple of days after, I had a slight headache, and I could, it wasn't so much painful, but I could feel where my stent was, and that went away about 2 days after. It was just, I think, my body getting used to it, but like I said, about 2.5 days post-procedure, my energy was just coming back in leaps and bounds, so.
Hi there. I was just wanted to ask the question at the end there. You said you had 9 balloons put in?
They take them out.
They take them out, yes.
Yeah.